If I had only $1,000 to spend to build a computer, what would I build? What if I had $1,100? How would it be different? Hey there, YouTubers. All right, in this video, we're going to look at what would I buy if I only had $1,000 to build a gaming desktop. And then quickly turn to, well, what if I had an extra $100? How would that change up what I got? All right, so let's get started. All right, folks, so let's start by doing our $1,000 build. Now, some of these components are going to be consistent between 1,000 and 1,100. Some of them will be improvements. And, this is just something I'm throwing together. I'd love to hear your comments down below in case you think I might have missed something or you would have spent the money somewhere else. Let's have constructive comments too. There's no reason to troll or be a hater, and all that good stuff. Just positive comments. What would you do differently? That's what I'd really like to hear. If there's some flaw that you see that I did, hey, let me know. All right, so let's get started. Now, when I look at cases, you have to kind of think, obviously, what you are building. All right, so am I going to put an ATX motherboard in it? That's going to tell me that I at least need a mid tower. If I'm going micro ATX, I can get away, with the mini tower or mid tower. So those are things that factor in. Then I want to look at how big is the video card I'm going with. All right, so and then maybe other things. What kind of space do I have for this case? What kind of flexibility in the future do I want? Do I want good airflow in there? How many fans do I have? Do I want to have all those nice colors? Things like that, okay? So we're trying to build the best computer we can get for $1,000 performance-wise, okay? So does a pretty computer factor into performance? Hell no, it does not, all right? So we're going cheap, baby. We are going with the do-it-yourself PC Solo T2R, $31.95, including shipping. This is available through Newegg, all right, which is a great brand, available on eBay and may be available on Newegg's site. I actually have this case. It's cheap, but it works, all right. Big wide open space in there, no problem fitting some of the larger cards. And if you've seen the channel, I have the GTX 970, and it is a long ass card. And so we'll see what card I pick later. But most likely, if I'm tipping my hat there, I'm going to want some space in there, or I want it for upgrading later. All right, so that's the case. That's my reasoning. Feel free down below to comment if you think it's stupid, but that is the case we're going with. All right, so RAM wise, now a lot of great deals out there right now for DDR4 RAM. Most of it's 24 megahertz, and I honestly can't say that I'm super impressed with the different speeds. Like, do I really notice that big difference? That's something you can argue about. It's the same talking to my son about his monitor and what kind of refresh speed he needs. But so RAM, I went through the list and I tried to find the cheapest 16 gigabytes worth of DDR4 that was 2666 megahertz. When I say I went through the list on the benchmark, because I wanted to be able to actually build this computer and show what kind of gaming score it gives it. All right, so I found this Corsair Vengeance LPX, 2 sticks of 8 gigs DDR4 RAM, available at Newegg. Available at Amazon. $65.99. All right, so that is decent RAM. The negative about going with the two sticks, depending on what we pick later for our motherboard, that could factor into an issue later. All right, so we'll talk about that. All right, next, let's talk about our storage device, okay? All right, for storage, I like fast drives, so I have moved way beyond mechanical hard drives, and I'm not willing to ever go back to it unless it's just for storage. So in this case, rather than skimp on the hard drive and or on our storage device and get a hard drive versus solid state, we're getting a very well performing but not so great storage solid state. I'm going with the Samsung PM 961 256 gigabyte NVMe M.2 solid state. Now you can also get the PM 981, which is even quicker, for about the same price, but I couldn't find any info for benchmark. So based on that alone, we're doing the PM 961, but in reality, I would buy the PM 981 over this. All right, it is definitely faster read and write. But the PM 961 available at Amazon, $39.99, and been pretty happy with the. I have a 512 actually, and I've got PM 981s. And as long as you stay away from the 128 gig, which sometimes can be a bearer to install an operating system on, the bigger ones seem to work a lot better for that. Don't know why that is, but it just is the way it's gone for me. All right, so now let's get into the more interesting stuff. What motherboard did I pick? And this may tip my hat, so once I tell you what the motherboard is, it's going to eliminate some of the CPUs I could have picked. For a motherboard, a lot of contenders in here that are maybe even cheaper. In this case, we're going to go with the Gigabyte H310M-A version 2, okay? You guys might be like, what? Well, version 1 is just 8th gen compatible. With a BIOS update, it's 9. Maybe you've seen that on my channel. We've covered that. 2.0 is right out the box compatible with 9th gen. And this is $69.99 at Amazon. Even though probably need to do a BIOS update, and this may be pretty much the same thing as the 1.0, it just has the BIOS update. So you might be able to save yourself some money if you have an 8th gen chip. Buy that one, but this is a decent motherboard. And I'm just going at, this is possibly one of the cheapest that says it's 8th gen, 9th gen compatible. So looking out for you guys. If you were to build a smaller a mini tower, then this would fit in there good. It's a micro ATX, not the ideal motherboard size for my mid tower. I would have preferred ATX, but I'm trying to save some money. Okay, that is the main thing here. Now, an alternate to this would be your Gigabyte B360M. What is it, DS3H. That one has more RAM slots, 4 versus the 2 that this guy has, but it's you need to do the BIOS update, all right, because most likely you'll get one from April 2018. So negatives about this, the motherboard that I did select, the H310MA, it has 2 slots. You're going to find it very difficult later to upgrade to, some of the other processors. You don't want to have that motherboard if you're thinking about a K processor. So, but that's, for this, we're doing a budget gaming build, and we're not even thinking about K processors or overclocking. So